Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches.
That was better than you and the steel drum.
Not to be confused with Books and
Pitches.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Erica. That was nice, Maria.
welcome. This is not your average podcast episode. Usually we talk about a book. Usually we talk about a single book.
A singular book.
This time we're going to talk about multiple books. We are going to swear, and we will probably talk about sex.
But no spoilers.
But no spoilers.
Because we can't spoil them.
Because we ain't reading them, baby.
And why can't we spoil them?
Okay, we are doing the Anti-TBR books we would not touch with a 10-foot pole.
I ain't gonna read
That's
it.
a little aggressive.
I know.
Like, I would probably touch it.
I mean, I don't want... Okay, I'm not actively trying to read it, but if, like, the occasion arises where I have to, I guess I'll reluctantly go ahead.
I feel like this has to be some sort of booktube.
It is.
Okay.
It is a booktube thing.
I wonder, like, what is the biggest one that people... Like, if we put all these videos together, what's the number one... what's the word? It's a science-y word. The...
Average?
No.
The
Close?
median?
Close.
The mean?
Nope.
That's all math.
The science, not math. Like, you know when you do an experiment?
Conclusion?
What's the number one...
Hypothesis?
No, the thing that you use to get the hypothesis. Variable. Jesus.
That's also in math.
What's the number one variable?
Variable doesn't sound like that. Variable is like... You're using the wrong word.
What are you trying to say?
Like, what's the book that every single person...
The common denominator.
What's the common denominator?
That's what you're looking for.
But
a variable is
part of a variable. It is a variable.
I think that's tough because, like, if it's a famous book, then it's been read by a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not.
But I just want to know
if it's
there's
not
a common
famous, then
denominator,
it's not.
Is all I'm saying.
Okay. We're not mathematicians or scientists.
Well, anti-TBR, interesting enough, we might have some that collide. We might have some that clash. We might have some
I
that...
have something on this list, and I wonder if it'll make Erica upset.
Okay.
I have one on my list that you've read, so...
Are we going to do a round robin of each?
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
single... We're going to go around. We're going to discuss a book that we will not read.
I can go first.
And I need 3 reasons why you won't read that book.
Actually, I have 2 that you have.
Okay, so you were trying to fight me today.
I need 3 reasons why for each book. Erica, you want to kick us off, or Maria?
Erica. No, Erica's trying to start shit with me.
I know, that's how I kind of want it.
Let's have her start this shit. I won't look.
Really get it going.
I'm gonna go number 1, My Dark Vanessa.
Ooh, I can see why.
Wait, My Dark Vanessa?
Yes, I read this book. It's a 5-star for me.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you just won't read it?
Yeah.
3 reasons.
There's nothing about it that intrigues me.
It's fucking
like
hard.
The plot.
It's bad.
Maria said it was really dark.
It's dark. My Dark Vanessa.
It's super dark. It does have above 4.0 rating on Goodreads.
It's a fantastic book.
Interesting.
But it's
there's a
fucking
lot of people
shitty.
I'm going full hipster on this. There's
Go
a lot
ahead.
of people that have read it and liked it, and I just
But hold on.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Yep.
No. Because then what's this whole thing of like I don't read a book unless it's higher than 4.0 stars?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
hypocritical.
I know.
That's
I know.
hypocritical.
I know it is.
Hole in your hypotenuse.
I'm not saying that like it's defying logic. It defies logic.
I wish I was high on pot.
I didn't think
Shut up.
I needed to like come with a fucking
She said 3 reasons.
I didn't think I needed to come with a bibliography of why I didn't want to read this. I thought I could just
3 reasons.
Yeah.
That's a lot of reasons.
But when
Yeah, I
one of
probably
your
won't have
reasons
that
is a
many.
big ass contradiction to your normal way of reading
I know.
books, I have to
know.
call it out. I'm sorry.
This is why I
I'm
wanted you
going
to give
very
them.
hipster on it, and
But
it's just like it
Quick
turns me
synopsis
off.
of My Dark Vanessa, because I have read it. It is about a girl who, at 15 years old, begins a relationship with her teacher.
I
Wasn't
also
this based on something?
I also fucking hate that trope.
Really?
I hate that trope.
So-
and I hate age gap tropes too.
Fair. Wasn't that based on something?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I think it is based on her life, the author's life. I think she did have to go through this, but in this case, this is not a romanticized thing.
Okay.
This is if you look at this book and you think this is a good story, you're fucked in the head and you need therapy. But it's about a girl who at 15 was groomed by her 45-year-old English teacher.
Oh my god, it's so fucking gross.
I was physically uncomfortable with this book. Like,
It's just sad.
this book made me cry. Like, this book fucked me up. I couldn't like function for
That's what
a
I mean.
couple
Like, I
days
have no
later.
interest.
But like, I didn't know that going in. I heard the story. So it's told between 2 different timelines.
Stephen
timeline-
King said something about this book.
He blurbed it.
Yeah.
For the half of it's her at 15 going through the motions of when it first happened. The other half is when she's in her 30s, and another girl has come out accusing him of what he's done, which is grooming. And to her, she had a love story with him. She didn't think in her head that she was abused. for the longest time, it's her thinking, no, he was my first love. Like we still talk. Like it's like
I know what I'm thinking of.
What do you
that
think
it's
of?
based off of
Lolita. Yes.
Is it the same?
In a way, yes, it's a modern day Lolita.
Okay.
But Lolita's sadder in a way. Lolita gets away. Lolita understands what's going on with her.
Okay.
This girl, it doesn't come till later to when she starts realizing what she's been through.
Okay.
But like everyone failed her in that book, and it's infuriating. It makes you so uncomfy.
I don't think I would ever read that either.
I don't think you
Erica.
should. I wouldn't recommend it. Like
Yeah.
I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. One of like what we talked about when we read 5-star books, it hooks us. It keeps us thinking about it. I kept thinking about that book. Like I put that book down and I literally like and I cried. It was like
Damn.
I hate age gaps. I hate
I don't
teacher
mind
tropes.
age gaps, and I don't mind teacher
Depends
tropes.
on the age gap.
I avoid them at all costs.
I don't like them when they're like 19 and 30 something.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't mind like a 10-year age gap.
10 years fine,
if
but-
you're 25
And over,
Yeah.
yeah.
and he's
there
35.
are some
Yeah, I agree.
age gap
I agree.
romances that I just can't get behind.
But if she's 18 and you're 28, like what the fuck are you doing?
yeah,
I
like,
totally agree.
Like her frontal lobe is not developed.
the only
agree.
one I was okay with, and I still not okay because I put the age gap out of my head and I made her older in my head as I was reading it. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas,
Another one I won't touch.
because it's an age gap where she's 19 and he's 30 something.
But that's one I might touch if we were doing it on the podcast.
I doubt we'll ever cover it on this podcast.
But that's another one.
If you don't want to touch it, no, we don't have to cover it.
All right. What's yours, Maria?
Oh, I'm gonna go very easy.
Okay.
It by Stephen King.
What do you got against it?
Is
it the clown?
No, I'm actually okay with clowns. I'm not that scared of them.
Me neither.
I like seeing the iterations. Like I haven't even watched the films.
The iterations.
The iterations
iterations
of
of
it.
I didn't mean to do that. That was on the fly.
Oh my god.
But like I like seeing it on screen from like the clips I've seen here and there. But I don't think I want to sit.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't seen it. I want to see it, but
You don't want to read it.
No.
I like horror is just I don't know.
And it's not because it's horror. I think I just don't. One, I'm following kids.
Is it the fucking orgy?
It's the fucking orgy part in there too. And I don't know. I kind of would have preferred teenagers.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's just too long. It's too long.
It's a very long book.
And I know
I will
that
never read it as well
from
because
someone
it's too
who's
long.
read Stephen King
Yeah.
and has said this is true. He adds too many details that don't freaking matter.
Yeah,
And I can't.
Yeah.
I can't justify losing my brain power for that. Like no.
I agree with you. I love Stephen King. I think it is really neat, but I have no desire to read it. So
I'll watch it though.
I'll accept. Okay. Well, number 1 on mine is Twilight, which we've already discussed on this podcast. Make sure you go back and listen to that episode. But yeah, I'll never read Twilight. I don't care for it. I've seen the movie already, so I'm not going to read it. And Bella is the worst character ever written.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 reasons. Erica?
I am not going to read Outlander.
Same.
That's fine.
But I will watch the show.
Loved Outlander the show.
I haven't even finished the
Season
show.
1 and 2.
We stopped at season 3, I think. You
I
and
will
I said
never.
at 4.
It's slow.
Too slow.
The book is long.
Did you know there's another one coming out?
Maria read the first
I know
book.
she read the first one.
Took me 6 months.
The book is very long.
Yes. Too
It's
long.
very slow.
Yes.
I don't think I could do that rape scene again.
No. Is it
But
worse in the book?
In the book, it's not his perspective. You don't see it. You hear about
Oh.
it.
That's
Okay.
fucked up.
The show.
That's
I
fucked
think
up that the show did
I
that.
think the show is worse because of that.
That's fucked up. I'm pissed about that.
Yeah.
but
I'm pissed.
no, there's no justifying.
I'm
it.
fucking pissed about that. Why can't we cancel that show? Fuck
What do you
that
mean?
show.
It's part of the
I don't.
story.
That is. I hate
No, because
that
you've
rape
said
was
it.
in it.
You've said it on this podcast that if you think it matters to the story, then you can't get mad
And
about
it very much
know.
does.
and it
but
very
I-
much matters about his character.
but I hate. But like they could have done it differently.
If it was a
didn't need how
girl, would you have a
explicit
no,
it
different?
was.
yeah. Why do women have to be seen raped
No,
often?
it was just fucking. It was no. It has nothing to do that it was a guy. It was just a tough scene.
It's
Yeah,
it's
and
tough
that's what
because
it
it's fucking
is,
rape.
man. That's what
rape
it
is
is.
tough.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
out
whole
on it.
point. Okay, so you'll never read.
I
Outlander.
didn't mean cancel, but I don't cancel things. But like I'm out.
Okay.
I get what you meant, though. I get what you meant.
I would never
I'm
read
out on that show.
either.
As someone who's read book 1, I think I will not continue it physically, even though I own them.
Are they all that long?
They're all pretty chunky.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I own the ones that are smaller. There are the bigger versions with larger print that I kind of wish I had those instead. But I think I'm going to continue the books in audio form. I can't do, and if I do, it's because I have nothing else on my TBR and I'm hating myself.
Fair enough, Maria.
Next up on my list, another basic easy one, Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's on my list as well.
So that's us together. Game of Thrones. So no
never
for me.
gonna read Game of Thrones. Erica's read it. You didn't
I've read
read
all
all
of
of
them.
it. No.
I can put Lord of the Rings on that too. Like those kind of
That's on
high
here,
fantasy
too.
things
Dang
that
it.
are
Lord
like.
of the Rings aren't really even that long.
No, I hear they're terrible too.
Really?
I've
I
heard
haven't
they're
read them,
terrible.
I
but
thought they were like some of the
I think
best.
Katie said they're pretty bad,
I have no idea.
and I trust Katie.
Fair. Okay, but Game of Thrones, totally agree. Love the show.
Love the show.
Love the show, regardless of how bad the last season was. I will still stand by. I love that fucking show.
I mean, I saw that ending for the show.
I just wanted it to be better.
I just wanted it to be more respectful.
Yeah.
Because if you have me following Dany like that, you better make her shit epic.
Yeah.
You know, for that to happen and for Jon to
There
do
could have been a lot of cool things. The newest book is probably never going to come out. Do we all agree with that?
You think it's gonna be a ghostwriter
For what book?
Game of Thrones.
The final Game of Thrones movie?
If he dies?
If he dies, or if he just
Yeah, I just think he's not going to write it, to be honest with you. I don't even think it's genuinely. I don't. She struggles. He did an interview with Stephen King, and he literally was like,
"Yeah, he struggles."
He did an interview with Stephen King, and he was like, "How do you just write books?" He straight up like asked him. He was like, "How do you find it in you to sit down and write books?" Like he just doesn't have
he
the
wrote
desire.
a whole series.
I know, but do you know why it's
sitting
taken
on
so
$40 million?
long? But it's taken
He's
him
probably
so long to write each one because he just doesn't.
If I was
have
the
passion.
if I was the publishing house, I'd be so pissed right now
Because
because he had to have gotten a deposit. What do you call them? An advancement.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be pissed.
I don't know. I don't know what those are really high level deals, so I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
Like I bet you it does not look like a normal publishing.
No, I'm sure it's handled differently, but they have to have given him an
this
advancement.
article came out in 2021, and it says the 7th and final book in the series will be A Dream of Spring, which by all accounts Martin has not even begun. So I don't think he's ever going to write
Holy
this book.
crap!
To be honest with you,
The next book is. I thought he was almost done with it.
it's the no, apparently not.
When was book
Wait,
6
that's
released?
the last book or the next book?
final book? Book 7.
It just says the 7th and final book in the
Oh,
series,
but
which by
that's
all
not
accounts
we're waiting for the 6th book right now.
Oh, well, either way, I don't think the end will ever come. Okay,
Do you think he's pissed that the show just went ahead and just finished it for him?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because if I was
he's
writing this
gathering
whole series,
information
I think he was ready to release the 6th book,
and then change his
and
mind.
then everyone hated the last season so much, and I think he's rewriting the books.
That's
I
interesting.
truly think he's rewriting the end of these books.
I feel like if you let the show go further than you've actually released,
How does it not give you a bias?
it puts a full-on bias on you.
Especially with the outrage of the books.
Because then at the end, he's always going to be related to that. He's always going to be
That's true.
like I wouldn't write either.
In my personal opinion, I've gone down the
Rabbit hole?
the Game of Thrones YouTube channel, and I've read more interesting theories than the actual end of this book.
Exactly. I had more interesting.
Or the end of this
Are you
series.
gonna watch the House of the
Prequel?
Dragon?
Definitely.
Probably
will.
not.
I definitely will. It looks so good.
The teaser looked awesome.
It looks
the
so
trailer looks amazing.
good.
If I do, it'll be in a casual setting. It won't be like
Like what it
ripping at
was.
the end of my fucking it won't be.
Maybe. I don't
It
know.
won't be the same vibes.
All right,
I'm
wait.
gonna go to my next one.
It's my turn.
Mine
you
was,
did
mine
Game of
was
Thrones?
lumped with hers.
This
yeah.
one.
Mine was Game of
This
Thrones.
one's on. You guys have already read
What?
any of Jane Austen's books.
Oh.
Any of
Okay.
them, I won't read.
Okay. I've only read Pride and Prejudice.
I hate romance. I hate old books with huge words that I don't understand.
Phrases,
And
yeah.
I need one more.
They're not short.
I don't like her name. All right. Your
What?
turn, Erica. I don't mind her name.
Honestly, I have a couple of them. Fuck.
next-
One by one. We're going
Wait,
one by
but
one.
next on my list is just honestly romance. So I guess that could coincide.
I am never, and you might all agree with this one, I'm never going to read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the
Nope.
additional story to
The
Hunger
prequel
Games.
to Hunger Games.
That's a thing?
yeah. It came out last year.
Oh, with Snow.
Snow is the main
His
character.
story.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it. So was it good or not?
It has a 3.82 on Goodreads.
I think it was like a mixed bag.
Ugh, that's
And
brutal.
there is not a fucking snowball's chance in hell
No.
I will read that
No.
book.
Why?
Because
he's
I
not-
don't give a fuck about snow.
Yeah, if you
That's
told
the
me,
thing.
if
He's
you
not an
told
interesting
me
character.
like Snow in the because now I've read actually Hunger Games. At the time I hadn't read it
I
yet.
forgot about that.
If you told me that like in Hunger Games it was his story and we followed him more and he became more of an anti-hero or at least a villain that we love to hate,
Yeah.
then I'd be interested in his story. But his story is useless.
He wasn't even that good of a
He's not even that good of a villain.
villain.
He used everyone else for his advantage.
So-
He's
And
not
not for
that
nothing.
scary.
You looked at him and you're like, yeah, I would too.
Sounds about right.
In the same scenario.
So if you could have one character in that whole series have their own book, who would you choose?
No one.
No one.
That's what I'm saying. You're done.
We chose the right one for Hunger
one.
Games.
We're
we chose
done.
the right one. Done.
The only one I would be interested in is her name Effie? What's her name?
Oh, the woman that the stylist.
She's cool.
The only,
She's fun.
you know what? The only thing I would read is a novella of the Hunger Games where Woody Harrelson's character, what's his face?
Oh, the drunk guy.
Yeah.
For when he wins the games.
If he like
Yeah,
a novella.
I follow him.
A novella
Yep.
Fair.
of that Hunger Games.
Yep.
Fair.
Okay.
Maria?
Beach Read by Emily Henry.
What is it? Beach read?
I agree
Beach
with that
Read.
one.
It came out last year in the summer, I think. It has like a yellow cover and there's two people on the like sun chairs. It's about this girl and this guy who happen to have neighboring houses on the water. She writes romance, he writes something else, and they decide to swap. Just because they're both dealing with writer's block, and obviously they fall in love or something like that.
I don't like books where they're about writing or
I don't
writers.
like it either.
It's because you write what you know and you know about writing.
I don't like that.
And I think
It's a
the
little
reason
lazy.
why I'm not going to jump into this book is because the reviews I've heard about it is that it tends to, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for you, so stop now if you don't want to know. It focuses a lot on her and her coming to terms with her father who passed away and left her this house, and how her father had like cheated on her mom and stuff, and so it's like her grieving and coming to terms with that, and I'm like, that's not what you're selling me on the cover of this book.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gathered
So
that.
I don't want that. Your synopsis does not cover that either for me either. Like you're selling me a specific kind of vibe, and you
Not that
veered
vibe.
away. You veered
Not my
away.
vibe.
I'm gonna stop saying vibe. I'm gonna veer away because I just it's not for me.
Fair. I want to read these books, but I'm also never going to. Does that count?
Throne of Glass.
No. The Chronicles of Narnia.
I read it in school.
I kind of want to, but I know
No,
I'm never
it's okay.
gonna.
You don't gotta.
I'm
Just watch the
never
movie.
gonna.
Just
Let's
watch
be
the
real.
movie.
Just watch
I
the
don't
movie.
even think I'll ever do that.
No,
Okay.
you've passed it. You passed the time.
It's done. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, what were we gonna say?
That I had another book by the same author that I wasn't gonna touch.
Oh, sorry.
The People We Meet on Vacation.
What's up with the vacation feel?
I don't know why this woman has.
I also will not read this book.
I don't even know what the synopsis is.
I don't either,
But the freaking cover, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't.
I don't
it's
fucking
not
either.
calling to me, so I don't want to pick it up.
Yep, I agree.
Erica?
My next one is, and I have 3 reasons for this one. My next one is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, which is part of the Throne of Glass series.
Whoa.
Number 1.
Haven't you already read it?
No.
Oh.
So number 1, I fucking hate Kale, and he's the main character in this book, and there's no Aelin, which is the
good one.
The
Is this
main
at
character.
the end? Is this the
So
final book?
so basically what happens is Kale at the end of I don't even remember what I don't know what book. I don't know what book it is. At the end of one of the middle books, he breaks his back and they send him to like a healer in another land. And his goal is to fix his back, and then like also there's like a prince and princess. He's supposed to like try to do some like, courting
Political stuff.
and get them to like help back them in the upcoming war. So he goes and does what he has to do, falls in love with a girl, blah, blah, his story, whatever, his healing story. I fucking hate Kale. And like, there's I have no
Are you
interest.
the only one that hates Kale? 'Cause
No,
I feel
no,
like
no, no. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of Kale lovers.
It's spelled CHAOL, by the way.
Cole?
Kale.
Chol.
I want to say Chol. I want to say Chol so bad.
So,
Dumb spelling.
yeah. So I
Sarah J.
fucking
Maas
hate
with
him.
the names.
I hate him. It's in the middle of the series. So like, I skipped it. I straight up skipped it.
And you didn't miss anything?
No.
And I like there was a couple of characters that came in and you're just
And
like,
you
I don't
really
know what
will
the fuck they
never
were,
read it.
but I was like, I have to buy it because it's not anywhere.
If it becomes free, you won't read it?
I fucking hate him, and
She hates him.
But if
it's
it becomes
660 pages.
But if it
That's
becomes
2 minutes
free,
for
that
you.
is a lot of pages
That's 2 minutes
to
for
read
you. That's 2 minutes
of
for you.
a character.
If you read
that
at
you
my
fucking
pace
hate.
and Kristen's pace, then I'd understand.
Yeah.
But you read a book a night. I don't want to
I
hear
read
that.
400 page books a night.
So you can read this in a night and
In
a
2
little
nights.
bit.
I don't like
you just don't
him.
want to.
Okay, that's fine.
But if it was free,
I don't even know. It would
probably
have
would.
to be for
she'd
it
probably
would,
read the end.
it would have to be for a good cause.
For a good cause.
What charity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if somebody was like, Erica, I'm going to pay this charity $100 if you read this book.
You heard
You
it
hear
here
that,
first.
rich people? Come through.
Help kids in need.
If you guys get together and if 100 of you pitch in $1 and we send it to a charity, I'll read this book and I will do a fucking
What was
YouTube
the name of it
video
again?
Tower of Dawn.
Tower of Dawn. Got it.
If people care that much
Sarah
about me
J.
reading
Maas
this book,
loves towers.
I think people would probably just love to hear your
She
bitching
loves
about
towers. She loves shitty names, and she's a pretty big fan of Dawn. Maria, what's next on your list?
Piggybacking off of that, I will not read Throne of Glass.
Ooh,
Any of them.
Wow.
Big
Hard
statement.
stance.
Big statement.
I don't think I care.
hard
I
stance.
definitely don't care.
I don't think I care. I think I've
Which is
you
heard...
funny because I
said-
think you'd like it.
I
You
probably
said you
would.
wouldn't recommend it though.
I would.
She
not,
wouldn't
I
recommend
stand
the
by
first
it.
two.
Interesting.
No, I stand by the series. I will not recommend the
So
series.
then if Erica says that, I'm not going to deal.
I can't, in good conscience, recommend a series that I skipped so many fucking chapters in.
But why do you love it so much if you've skipped?
Because I love the main storyline. It's Game of Thrones. So there's like 10 different characters.
Nope.
Okay.
So
Lost me.
every chapter is a different person's perspective.
Nope. Lost me.
Which is exactly how Game of Thrones is. And Game of Thrones was just as fucking terrible when you get like a Tyrion chapter and you'd be pulling your eyelashes out. It's so fucking boring and he's so whiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You get to like a Manon chapter and you're just like, I don't give a fuck about the politics of these fucking witches. Like
I don't even need
it's just,
3 reasons. That was the reason enough.
Yeah, that was good though.
But that's and I love the series. I will reread certain books. I will never reread the whole series.
So
Never in my million years.
I won't touch it.
I don't really have anything else on my list, so go
I
ahead,
have some.
Erica.
Oh, I have some.
I'm having fun listening to yours because you're just adding to mine.
I will never read the Priory of the Orange Tree.
Oh, the Priory of the Orange Tree?
Priory?
That book's too big.
What the hell is that?
It's
Yeah, notice how she's
you
saying
probably like it.
all the long books.
827 pages.
Love me
You
a
probably
long
like
book.
it. I think it's like a high fantasy with a bunch of dragons.
What's it called?
The Priory of the Orange Tree.
I thought it was
I have that.
P-R-I-O-R-Y.
I have that book. I
Yes,
wanna
you
read
do
it.
own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually on my want to read list. But I didn't.
I know.
touch
I
on.
saw it at your house.
I'm pumped for that.
I
Highly
hear
rated.
good things.
It looks awesome.
I hear great
Give
things.
me a why? 'Cause it's
highly
too long?
rated. Highly rated. Too long. Expensive.
Why is highly rated not on your
Oh,
list?
sorry. Not what I was saying.
That's like a fucking what you need. Okay, too expensive. I have
Too
it if you want to borrow
expensive.
it. That crosses that out.
too expensive.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
Too expensive.
I have it. You can't say that one anymore.
Too long.
So it's just too long.
It's too long. I've
But
heard.
she will read
I've
200 shifter books, each at
What
300
was
pages.
that?
I-
What
you-
was
you
Sarah
didn't let
J.
me
Maas's
finish.
was 800. The new
You-
Twilight fucking book.
Didn't let me finish. There was a lot of people who have said on Bookstagram how boring it was.
They're
So you're
probably
just
boring
gonna
people.
take their word for it?
Yes.
So if they said jump off a bridge, you could jump off a bridge.
Yes.
Actually, not gonna lie, I'm looking at the very first rating on it. It says it's the kind of book where you at first think that nothing happened, but when you think about it again and properly, you realize that really nothing happened.
Yeah,
it gives
I
me-
hear it's great. I hear
It gives
that's
me
really what I
Poppy
am.
War vibes.
Okay.
Oh.
Of
Don't,
like,
don't ruin this for me.
You are not going to read Poppy War 2. You're not going to.
The first one
no,
was
but
horrible.
it just gives me Poppy War vibes in like the sense that like I think there's a general consensus that like there are some people who are like going to be obsessed with it no matter what, and then there's some people that are going to be like, this is
Okay.
the most boring book in the world, and I think I'm
like,
always going to be
like
on that
most
side.
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm always going
I
to be
always
on that
thought
side.
this was multiple books put into one. I didn't realize it was one book.
No, it's all
Oh,
one
yeah.
book.
I'm out.
I can add Dune to my list.
We're going to read it. You said you're going to read it.
No, I'm not.
We're not reading
What?
Dune. What do you mean?
Oh, are we reading Dune?
We were going to read it for
I
the
thought we were
podcast.
reading Dune.
I didn't know that. I just feel like it's going to be so
we
hard.
literally talked about it
Oh.
when we watched the film together.
I said I might want to
Oh, you
read
watched
this.
the new film?
It's 20
We watched it in
books
theaters.
long this year.
No,
said it
we're
was
gonna read
great,
the first
right?
book.
The movie was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal.
Let's read the
But
first book. We don't have to
upon-
read all 20.
But I will say, upon watching the movie, I was like, if this was in book format, I don't think I'd be able to follow it.
remember, the first movie is just half of the first book, so
Which
we're
I get.
missing a ton of like.
There's just so many names.
But like,
and like
Dune.
What
I'll do it. I'll do
what
it. I'll
I
do
think
it.
is going to be part of that book. It's going to be high on the political system.
Yeah.
And that kind of like aspect of it, which might deter us a little.
I lied.
because
I do want to read it.
You
I just
wanna
didn't-
read
I know.
Dune.
It just seems like it's gonna be hard.
We're gonna do it together.
Okay. Go ahead.
We'll be
Maria.
done together.
What's your next one?
Next on my list, the cover is gorgeous, but I think I have a thing against pirate books. Fable.
How could you
By
say
Adrian
that? You just
Young.
broke my heart.
No, I'll read your pirate book when you write one.
That
but
just
like,
hurt. my
But
chest.
here-
I
Hearing
think if
about-
I want a pirate book, I want it to have dirty sex, and I think this is super YA.
It's very YA. I don't think
Stabbed.
I just don't think I want it.
What's it called? Fable?
Yeah.
Fable by Adrian Young. The
If
cover
I'm-
is gorgeous. I don't know much about the plot. I think it's about a girl who's trying to like prove herself to her dad on his ship.
I love how y'all are giving me good books to read.
Yeah, we're not gonna read them. You will. Again, nothing bad about it, but I just the
I could give
feelings
you-
I feel are just not.
This
I could
is
give you
YA and it's first person, and I already hate it from the first 3 sentences.
Okay,
What's it say?
so-
What's it say?
Wait.
Pop, I
Bastard
wanna
was
hear it.
leaving me again. Between the trees, I could see Koi and the others kicking up sand as they pushed off the beach.
Her dad leaving.
I'm all set.
I will go next. Since you
Very
probably don't
assertive.
have
Done.
anything.
Kristen's done.
Yeah, I'm done. I like this. This is good.
Touch of Ruin, which is the second book from
I second that.
the Hades and Persephone
I
by
second that.
Scarlett Sinclair.
Did you
It's,
read the first one?
I
Touch
read
of
the first
Darkness.
one. Yep.
But did you like the first one?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
No. Yes. No. Yes.
Nope. Did not.
Has really good ratings.
It does, and
No, it
for
doesn't.
some
3.8
reason,
I like.
a lot of people like that book, and they tend to like the first one, Touch of Darkness. They tend to go to it as if it's like the best Hades Persephone retelling. I think Neon Gods is 10 times better.
Dude, this girl's on all these reviews.
I didn't dislike the.
Oh,
I
we're
didn't
friends.
dislike it.
Sorry. go on.
I didn't dislike it until the very end, and then there was no conflict resolution. And like in my opinion, that ruins the entire book. Because what were we leading up to?
She was insufferable as a character.
She wasn't fun. Hades was kind of hot.
Whenever
I was
he was
him.
in, I liked him around, but having to be in Persephone's head and
nothing
dealing with
really
her
happened.
personality was not my fave. And I didn't
Their
like
actual conflict was stupid. Like,
I didn't like how the story was not the story, but the world was set up in sort of like a modern setting where Hades owns a club. I didn't
was
like
weird.
it. It was just not well executed.
It was just
It just
weird.
felt like cosplay. Does
Yeah,
that make
it's
sense?
just like I didn't really understand why she was in Athens. Like that just seemed very like excessive
It just
too.
felt weird. It just all felt
but
weird.
Touch of Ruin, I hear is real trash.
Really?
Like a lot of people who like this series don't like
that
the
one.
second book.
Is it like second book syndrome where it's just like a filler?
I think I don't think it's that. I think people just don't like it, and then the third book gets a little bit better, but I don't think it. Like I don't think that the series is very
I don't
good
even
in
want to
general.
bother to do that. Okay, my turn. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney.
Oh, I've heard of this.
She's the author of Normal People.
Nope.
I
Uninterested.
read-
You guys talked about normal people, and I was not
read
into
Normal People. I listened to it on audio, and I don't know if that
it. It sounds boring.
it might because it's about normal people.
and I hate normal
It
people.
might have
Sounds so boring.
It might have put a. Oh my god!
Why
how
is
do I
this
say
the
it? Don't read
vibe?
'em.
Why is this the vibe? The cover of Conversation with Friends is like that cartoony,
That's
bright
a
color.
thing now.
It's like
That's
a
a
chick lit
thing.
thing.
Why is this the thing?
So romance novels and these kind of contemporaries are going towards this illustrated cover. And
What
I
is the
don't-
reason?
I don't understand.
What is the reason?
It does, well, you know what it is? The people who are reading the romances, they're buying the cartoon covers, expecting a basic like flowery romance, and they get hit with smut, and they're like, "Ooh, I can take this on my train, and no one's gonna know I'm reading smut."
Oh.
That's what it is. But Conversations with Friends, they say that for those books of Sally Rooney, either you love one and hate the other,
Okay.
depending on what you read. I read Normal People, and I just felt weird with it. I didn't like the story that much. It just, I feel like the show was covering it better. I think it lives better as a show than it does as a book. It just made me feel uncomfy, and their story together, like their love story for like 10 years plus kind of thing, and then the girl has a lot of depression, and it's just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah, that wasn't for me. So that's why I won't pick up Conversations with Friends.
Actually, Maria, I think you read this one too.
I
Serpent and
did.
Dove.
Did not like it.
I wanted to read Serpent and Dove in the beginning, and then you brought up, you kind of said like you didn't like whatever, and I was like, I have zero desire.
I think
now
it's
to read it.
it's not bad.
But I
think
I've
it's-
heard from multiple people it's not good.
I
I
think
haven't
it's
heard
mid-tier.
Serpent and Dove is bad. I've heard Blood and Honey's bad, which
Second
is the
book
next
syndrome.
book.
Again,
I
I think it's mid-tier. I think it's a basic storyline for a basic book, and it doesn't deserve all the hype it gets.
So, okay, Serpent and Dove has a 4.02 rating.
Really?
Blood and Honey
deliver.
has a 3.59.
Holy shit!
I think 3.5 should have been for the first
the
book as
hell
well.
the names too.
That's fucking brutal.
Serpent and Dove.
I'm sorry.
Blood and Honey.
Like,
What's
and it
next?
sounds cool, and the cover is fucking cool.
The covers
Yeah,
are great.
I bet.
The Serpent and Dove
The
book is
cover is
about,
sick.
for those who don't know,
That
it's
is cool.
about a witch. It's like in France in like some kind of time period back then, 1800s maybe.
But Gods and Monsters is 4.
Apparently, it got
4.11.
better at Gods and Monsters. But again, like, I shouldn't have to take 3 books to get you to a good story.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
shouldn't
not
have to deal with
trying to do
Nope.
that.
I didn't care for the guy who's like the witch hunter falling in love with the witch, and the dialogue did not feel like it was dated. It felt like it was modernized, and it was like, and then the titty litty song pisses me off. I just it's not for me. But I read it.
It makes me concerned when people tout about it on Bookstagram.
And I would say, if you want to read it. It's not terrible, but if you like audiobooks, do not listen to this book.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 perspectives, right? Female, male. The guy narrator is trash. The way he talks
Ruins a book.
drove
tough.
me nuts. Like, I could deal with Lou's perspective, and I didn't mind it when I listened to her, and I would get sort of in the story then, but then when it came back to him, I hated it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
What's next?
I think that was my last one.
Oh.
I have one more, and this one is like, I don't want to say it's a hard anti because I might read it, but I have some serious apprehension on it, and like, it would take a lot of convincing. So if you're listening right now and you're a huge fan of this book, message me for your reasons for me to read this
I'm
series,
so into this.
because I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm so torn on it. The first book is a 3.7, which is so fucking low. If it was a 3.9 or even a 3.8, I think I would make
Give
an
us the
exception. But it is so fucking low. The Plated Prisoner series.
The Plate of Prisoner.
The
Guild?
Plated Prisoner
Really?
series.
You're not
Guild.
gonna read that?
I'm very concerned about how low that rating
funny,
is.
Funny. I'm going to shout out right now. I'm going to shout Courtney out. Sips and Fables on Instagram. I was on her live the other day. Not on it, but I was like watching her live. Hi, Courtney. Love you. She says she stalks us, so I have to say hi.
I love that.
She and I were talking about
Cool cover.
how we want to read this series. It's a King Midas retelling.
Yeah.
But apparently the first book is hard to get through. But that if you can make it through book 1, book 2 and 3 are spot on great.
So
I
book
say
2
go for
is
it then.
I'm going to go for it. It's on my Kindle.
book 2 is
yeah.
a 4.29.
Dude, you got to do it then.
Book 3 is a 4 point something too.
Because that Dark Tower series, getting through the first book was miserable, and then the second book ended up
I
being
know,
one
and
of my
it's like,
favorite of all time.
Is that
And
what I
honestly,
do?
It's like what?
It's
200,
I
it's like
think it's
300
worth
pages
it.
probably. You're going to read it
It's
in a night.
available on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
I know.
And the cover's cool as fuck.
$3.75. I know.
It's
I would read
easy for
this.
you to go through that. It's a quick read for you.
I know.
I would even
You
read
read
this.
terrible shifter books.
This
I
looks
know.
cool. This looks cool.
I'm in for it. I will say though, I think Courtney did read this whole series. I will say that there are apparently trigger warnings. You have no triggers.
Oh, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas.
But if you should look up the trigger warnings for this series if you're interested in reading it, because I hear some crazy shit happens in there.
Really?
Yeah.
The first book?
And the series in general.
Oh, it says for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Jennifer L. Armentrout. That's the second time I
The
heard that
From Blood
name.
and Ash.
I've never had before.
Yeah, you have from our Blood.
It looks cool. There's a look inside, and you can read chapter 1. It looks interesting. You can you send us a message. I think this is actually really just an interesting thing. Like, what's a book that you would never
Absolutely
read?
would never read.
Yeah, I think
Get a
it's
no
whole
circumstances.
list. I kind of want a list of just interesting books.
Oh, my last one is actually Dark Tower, so. The heartbreaking.
I don't even fucking care anymore. I've tried to get you to read the Dark Tower series for how many months? When did we start this podcast?
A year.
For almost a
A year.
year. I gave her the first 3 books.
What would you do if I just read all of them and then like
I'd be
one day
so
would just show up
happy.
and be like, oh, and
It'd
then
be
I
like
gave you
Spanish love
but then
deception.
I
You go
gave
learn
you-
a language.
But then I gave you a spoiler from
I don't
like
care.
a book in front of
I don't-
where
She's
you're
already
at.
been spoiled for that series.
I'm on the last book. I don't even care if you told me the end. I already know what the end is. Like I've
We
seen
already
memes
yeah. The
that
memes.
have ruined it.
She
But
took
I would
so long to read it. She
I
got
would love that.
spoiled.
Honestly,
I would love
can
that.
you?
Okay.
Please
Okay.
be my friend.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe for Christmas if Santa's good.
if Santa's
you're good, Santa
If you're
will do it
good.
for you.
Sorry.
Santa,
Maybe-
please, Santa, be good this year. Stop being a dick.
Brain fart. Maybe
I'm good?
if you're good,
What do I need
Santa
to do?
will be
Outlander's
nice.
having another book.
I'll read one of your shitty books. If I read I've read so many of your shitty books. Please read Dark Tower series.
Please.
I'll read.
Wait, I got a question for you. Iron Prince or Dark Tower?
Iron Prince. I'm not even gonna lie.
She said it's her favorite book of the
The
year.
second book in Dark Tower is a very tough contender, or the third even. You would love the one where it's like the love story. Awesome. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow us on Instagram and talk to us. That's books_n_Betches, BETCHES. Let us know a book that you'll never fucking read.
Yeah, tell us.
A book that you just are not gonna read.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Gun to your head.
Even
You
though
won't
some of
touch
these
it.
we might. And let us know if we should read Dune. I need to know.
We're gonna read it.
Just let us know. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. Just look up Books and Betches. You'll be able to see our beautiful faces. And we're on Discord, so find us on Discord. We're on Patreon.
I love Discord.
If you want to join our book club, that means that you have access to us and you can get in this book club, read with us. We'll probably talk about you on the podcast. If you have shitty opinions or if you have amazing opinions, we're gonna talk about you, and you even have the chance of maybe possibly even being on the podcast. Whoa! More information on that on our Instagram and our link tree, so head on over there, and also rate our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you, we're grateful for you, and
Every
we cannot
day.
wait to see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, bitches.